Hi crafters, come on in. Welcome back to Simply Charlease, where new crafters like to hang out. Today I'm going to show you how to make some spirals to go in as embeds for your soaps. Real simple, beginner friendly. We're going to be working with some clear glycerin, and that's what we're going to use to make the embeds. And I have some shea butter soap base also that's going to be the overpour for the soap. We're going to use this fresh linen scent. Yeah, I think fresh linen would be a good one. And the color is this cobalt blue, which I think is absolutely beautiful. All right, of course, glitter makes everything beautiful. All right, and our alcohol to pop the bubbles and also to make sure that the different layers of soap adhere to one another. Let's get started. First things first, I'm going to melt the clear glycerin that we're going to be using for our embeds. I'll be back. All right, the clear glycerin is melted. I'm going to go ahead and add the color. This beautiful cobalt blue. Let's see. And I've got this little tiny spoon that came with the color. Let's see. It doesn't take a whole lot. Have to be careful that I don't get too much. Okay, let's see. Let's see how much color just the one little spoon gives it. Okay. That is pretty. See how pretty that is? Yeah. That is really pretty. I want it to be a really deep blue. I don't know, what do you guys think? I'm going to add a tiny bit more color because I want it to be a sharp contrast against that white. So I'm going to do maybe a half again, okay? Let's see what we get there. All right, let's stir this up. And this mica actually blends really well with this clear glycerin. I'm trying something different because normally I mix the mica colorant with alcohol before I put it in my soap base. But I've seen other soapers put it directly in, so I thought I would just try it this time. But you can never go wrong if you mix it with the alcohol first. What I normally do is something like this. I'll put it in a little cup like this, put the colorant in, and then put some alcohol over that and mix it, and then pour it in. Okay, but this seems to be really working. Yeah, I guess it depends on the quality of the mica. All right, you see how pretty that is? Let me see how warm this is before I add any fragrance oil to it. Okay, it's at 139, so we should be good. All right, we're going to add the fresh linen. How's everybody doing today? Great, I hope. It's going to be another hot one here in North Carolina. In fact, we have heat advisories. Boy, that smells good. Yes, that is so good. All right. So this is good to go. All right, now what I'm going to be using are these little trays that I got from Dollar Tree years and years ago, but I'm sure they still have something like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a very thin layer of the soap into this little tray. I want it to be thin because when we peel it out, this is what we're going to use to make our spirals. And it'll make more sense to you once we actually do it, okay? Which means I'm going to have to do more than one tray. Let's see. Okay, let's see how. Okay. Don't want to make it too thick because then that'll make it hard to move. All right. I'm going to do another one. Yeah. Oh, this fresh linen really smells good. I don't use it that often, but I'm going to have to start using it more because I'm really liking the way this smells. Okay. And I have 4 of these trays. And I'm hoping that this will be sufficient. Today, you know, getting back to how hot it is, today is a good day to stay inside and craft if you can do that, you know. I have a tiny bit left, so I'm going to spread that between these other 2 that I have over here and hope that they are not too thick. Let's see. Okay. All right, guys. That is step 1. All right. We have to set these aside and let them harden. And I won't necessarily let them get totally hard because I want them to be pliable. All right. I'll be back. Okay, crafters. The embed has set, and we are going to release them from this mold, and I hope that they are thick enough or not too thick or not too thin. Here's one. Okay, and you see this is kind of thin on one end and it's a little thicker on the other end. All right, but we'll see. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to just slice this in half. Can you see that? Yeah. We'll just slice this down the middle. And because I'm going to use this really small soap mold, I'm going to cut this in half again. If you were using a standard size mold, then this would be the right size. You could, you would be able to work with this, but this is too long for that little tiny mold. So I'm going to cut that in half again. And that's probably good because I'm not so sure I'm going to use the really thin end, but we'll see. I've never done this before, guys, by the way. All right, and then we're just going to take this and we're going to curl it. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, can you see that? And that's how we're going to make our swirls. And we'll close it together so that it fits into the mold. Okay, that's one. Let's curl another one. Just curl it. And this is pretty thick, so that should show up really good inside the soap. At least that's my hope. And then we'll Put that in there. And I don't think I'm going to use this, at least not yet. We'll see. I may use it later. So let's unmold another one and see if I can't get a thick end. Okay. Okay. And again, it's thick on one end and thin on the other. I don't know, maybe my countertop, when I poured it, maybe it's lopsided or something. I don't know. But anyway, we are going to slice this down the middle again, and then cut it in half again. And I'm going to put these thinner ones to the side. And we're going to make our swirls. You just curl it. Okay, we're just going to curl it. And then we have our swirl. All right, and then we want to fit that down into the mold. Okay, and we've got 3 curls already. Okay, let's do another curl. So it looks like 6 curls is going to fit in here. Okay. And we're going to set that there. And do one more. Okay, and again, it's thin on one end and kind of thick like I wanted it, a little thicker on the other end. And we'll use the end that is the thickest. Okay. All right, and then we're just going to curl. And this one's thin. Hold on. Let's see. It's going to work though. You see? See? Okay. And that's number 5. And we're going to curl number 6. This one's a little thicker. That's the beauty of handcrafted soaps. You know, it's not going to be the exact same. No 2 soaps, no 2 curls, no 2 embeds are going to be exactly the same. Okay, and this is number 6. All right, so we got 6 in there. And I think what I'm going to do, because I may take those, the thin ones, and make curls so that I'll have a little texture, a little interest. I don't want the soap to be flat. Yeah, let's see. All right, guys. I have 2 here. You see what I'm saying? Because you know how I like to pour over and give my soap a little lift. See that? Okay. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is to melt the shea butter over pour, okay? I'll be back. Now that I know that my embeds are going to fit properly, I'm going to take them out because I need to spritz them with alcohol so that they will bind with the overpour. Okay, so I'm going to leave these in, but I'm just going to go ahead and spritz those. turn them around a little bit, make sure I got them fully saturated. And then I'm going to spritz these. And that alcohol makes them real slippery, but we'll get them back in there. Okay. And then these, the last one. Okay. And they are in place. Okay. So we've got our shea butter base melted, but I think it's too warm. Let's see. Yeah, it's at 157, and I definitely, I could possibly go ahead and add my fragrance oil, but I'm gonna even wait for that to cool down a little bit. And I definitely don't want to pour over my embeds at 157, because that would start, it probably wouldn't melt them completely, but it would start the melting process. So we're going to wait for this to cool down, and then I'll be back. Okay, crafters, this is setting up pretty fast. I went ahead and added it's at 138, the fragrance oil, in an attempt to cool it down. And I'm hoping that this is going to work, because this got real thick real fast. I don't know why that happened. We're gonna have to reheat this. I'll be back. All right, guys, this might be our first total fail. Let me spray some alcohol to get these bubbles out. For some reason, this particular brand of shea butter soap base, it's setting up way faster than I'm accustomed to. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna go for it, and hopefully I'm gonna pour it up high, and hopefully it won't melt the embeds. When you pour it up high like this, it gives it a chance to cool a little bit before it actually touches the soap. Yeah. Yep. Hope. And then the other thing is, did I melt enough soap base? I think I did just enough to get to the top, and I'll have to melt a little bit more in order to adhere these two that I want to put on the top. Well, I always say I want you to see the good, bad, and the ugly, and this might be all three. I'll be back. Okay, guys, let's see if we can save this from being a total fail. Ooh. All right, so I've melted a little bit more for the over pour, and I'm gonna spritz a little alcohol on there and on the embeds. Let's see if they will stay in place. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see. I saw this one way in my head, but looks like it's not turning out the way I saw it in my head. Yeah. I don't know. All the overpour that's you know, we can clean that up, but I just don't, I'm not sure what went on in the actual soap base. Okay, now that's not looking real pretty, but we're gonna keep hope alive. All right, let's see, the only thing that could possibly save this soap would be some glitter, so we're gonna apply some. I'm always saying glitter makes everything beautiful. I don't know if it's going to make this beautiful, but we shall see. I'll be back. Okay, crafters, our project has set, and I'm going to unmold it. Cross your fingers. Let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. Oops. Is that glitter showing up? Yeah, we'll clean that up. Yeah. All right, we're gonna cut it and see what we got. Boy, I just don't know. This one gave me a run for my money. You know, you have a design in your mind, and sometimes it doesn't work out the way you saw it in your head. Now, this part looks really pretty to me, but what I'm sweating is did the shea butter, I'm hoping that it got into all the nooks and crannies, because it was setting up way faster than I'm accustomed to the soap base setting up. But anyway, we'll see what we got here. All right. See, I'm gonna kind of hold this back this way because I'm afraid this might slide. Let me see. Once I get it started, I can turn it up. Okay. Should stay in place. All right. Slice. Oh my. Okay, it did. It got into all the nooks and crannies on that one anyway. Yep, I need to clean up. All right, let's do number 2, see what we got. Okay, I think it made it. I think it made it into the nooks and crannies. All right, one more cut. Okay, here's the end piece for me. Okay. And our swirls, they turned out pretty good. Boy, I tell you guys, I was sweating this one. I didn't know what this was gonna look like. Okay, so this is what we ended up with. Okay. All right. that's all I have for you today. I'll try to remember to put the links to the color that I used and to that little small mold that I used, okay? And down in the description box. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.